All right, I believe we have waited long enough as the guys are ready, and should we bring back our contestants, because we are about to do the Sherry Hill formal wear, right?
Nancy, are you guys ready?
We begin with Alabama. 23-year-old Kelly graduated summa cum laude from Auburn University in just 3.5 years. She spent one summer in Madrid studying Spanish and another in Rome studying global culture and international business. Alabama!
Hannah once received the Good Citizenship Medal from the Daughters of the American Revolution. This hard-working 25-year-old recently obtained her master's in international education policy and management. Alaska.
Arizona. Yesenia is passionate about eradicating hunger and proudly volunteers at food banks in her state. This 24-year-old was a high school cheerleader and enjoys kickboxing, dancing, and hiking in her spare time. Arizona!
Arkansas! Following her father's heart disease diagnosis, 24-year-old Haley began volunteering with the American Heart Association. If crowned Miss USA, this fitness enthusiast would use her title to inspire healthy living. Arkansas.
California. ALYSSA started a business when she was 17, eventually selling it to make a major profit from a retailer. Growing up with a single mother who was an entrepreneur inspired this 26-year-old to become a businesswoman. California!
Colorado! Emily was a D1 volleyball star who once played on the USA Junior National Team. This 22-year-old plans to operate a training facility one day and become the first female to coach both the USA national and Olympic volleyball teams. Colorado.
Connecticut. 24-year-old Chelsea is a self-acceptance advocate who started the campaign #BeBoldlyYou. This former gymnast and cheer captain hopes to bring visibility to the plight of those with intellectual and development disabilities. Connecticut.
Delaware. Fueled by her immigrant family, 27-year-old Katie has overcome personal challenges to pave the way for marginalized communities. This entrepreneur and freelance makeup artist enjoys long-distance running and blogging. Delaware.
District of Columbia. 28-year-old Sierra is a proud alumna of two women's colleges, Spelman and Yale's Women's Campaign School. She served as an ambassador for two non-profits encouraging young women to run for political office. District of Columbia.
Florida. 28-year-old Monique is a professionally trained ballerina who enjoys scuba diving and wakeboarding. She works as a psychiatric specialty pharmaceutical representative and believes daily habits are the key to overall health. Florida. And returning to the stage, our first group of 10 contestants, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, District of Columbia, and Florida.
Well done, everyone. That was wonderful. Let's move on now to the next groupings.
Yeah.
We begin with Georgia. ALYSSA created the hashtag #RiseUp program to increase awareness about the importance of the arts for individuals and communities. This 22-year-old fitness junkie has been recognized on the Georgia House floor thanks to her initiative. Georgia.
Hawaii. 25-year-old Samantha made history twice as the first African-American teen and Miss Contestant crowned in her state. She once wrote, produced, co-directed, and starred in a short film that premiered at the Awareness Film Festival. Hawaii.
Idaho. Kim is a 26-year-old bar instructor who enjoys knitting and crocheting in her spare time. She graduated from Cornell University with honors in research and currently holds dual citizenship with the Philippines. Idaho.
Olivia is currently getting her PhD at the University of Chicago. A few years ago, this 22-year-old became a published scientific author and earned over $10,000 in grants for cancer research. Illinois.
Indiana. Alexis was her high school's valedictorian and entered university with 12 college credits. Already an on-camera host, this 24-year-old created the empowering Break the Mold tour to inspire kids to chase their dreams. Indiana!
Iowa. After obtaining her RN license, Morgan began working as a staff nurse in the cardiovascular intensive care unit of a hospital. While in college, this 23-year-old was on both the dean's list and the president's list. Iowa.
Kansas. 21-year-old Hayden was a special needs classroom volunteer in high school. She plans to earn her doctorate of occupational therapy and assist in the rehabilitation and recovery of children with disabilities. Kansas.
Kentucky. Lexi attended a different school every year from 4th grade through sophomore year of high school. This well-traveled 24-year-old has been to over 15 countries and enjoys playing video games in her spare time. Kentucky.
Louisiana. 24-year-old Mariah is pursuing her master's degree in school counseling. This future high school counselor enjoys making YouTube videos that focus on encouraging women to embrace their natural beauty. Louisiana.
Maine. Julia is a former Division I cheerleader who once moved to Italy to work as an English teacher. This 22-year-old completed a dual undergraduate degree in under 4 years and is an advocate for those who are food insecure. Maine.
And now, let's put our hands together for the whole group as they come back out on stage. Georgia. Hawaii. Idaho. Illinois. Indiana. Iowa. Kansas. Kentucky. Louisiana. And Maine. Come along, folks. Now we have Maryland. 28-year-old Taylor has experienced numerous hardships, including homelessness, hunger, and the loss of a parent. She hopes to help children realize they can control their future through making their own choices. Maryland.
Massachusetts. At 23, Sabrina is a performance activist, passionate about using all art forms to share stories and speak to social issues. She recently earned degrees in theater and journalism. Massachusetts.
Michigan. Chanel enjoys speaking with students about the impact their behaviour has on society. This 27-year-old is a probation officer for the Department of Corrections, ensuring that returning citizens integrate back into society. Michigan.
Minnesota. 22-year-old Taylor has a degree in broadcast journalism and aspires to be a sports reporter and social media manager. This former NFL cheerleader once worked alongside Aaron Andrews at a Vikings game. Minnesota.
Mississippi. 22-year-old entrepreneur Asia runs her own cosmetic line, turning a makeup obsession into a very lucrative business. This avid runner and dancer once watched an Ole Miss football game with Morgan Freeman. Mississippi.
Missouri. Megan's nonprofit introduced women's health legislation that designates funding for endometriosis research. This 24-year-old globetrotter once lived in London and has gone hiking in 4 different continents with her father. Missouri.
Montana. Marissa is a vegan who's proud to live a low-waste, eco-minimalistic lifestyle. This 28-year-old political science student is an artist who can often be found writing, headbanging to dubstep, or singing musical theatre. Montana. Nebraska.
Michigan is the proud CEO of a female empowerment company operating in 30 states. Woo! In her spare time, this 27-year-old volunteers with a training program that helps women in prison thrive after incarceration. Nebraska.
Nevada. Victoria is a singer-songwriter who is currently producing her first album of original music. That's amazing. This 27-year-old international model enjoys extreme sports, including ice climbing and trick riding horses. Nevada.
New Hampshire. ALYSSA has provided coronavirus relief by distributing meals to underprivileged school children in her community. This 26-year-old registered dietitian wrote the 2020 National Nutrition Month blog post for the American Heart Association. New Hampshire. And returning to the stage, our third group of 10 contestants, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada. Oh my gosh, and the dresses are gorgeous.
Unbelievable. Coming out now on the stage is New Jersey. Gina studied fashion merchandising and was recently a public relations intern at Giorgio Armani Corporation. This 21-year-old thrill seeker once traveled from Italy to Switzerland on a 14-hour bus ride just to go paragliding. New Jersey.
New Mexico. Since losing her mother to the disease, Cecilia has been an advocate for cancer awareness and research. This 28-year-old volunteers with the American Cancer Society and Susan G. Komen in honor of her mom. New Mexico.
New York. 25-year-old Andrea didn't speak any English when her family immigrated to the United States 18 years ago. This St. John's University graduate now speaks 4 languages fluently and holds a degree in public relations. New York.
North Carolina. 22-year-old Jane is a free spirit who's worked and lived in cities around the country. She has studied abroad in France, led cheers for a stadium of 100,000 fans, and currently runs her own gluten-free bakery. North Carolina.
North Dakota. Macy has an honors degree in psychology and plans to get her master's in marriage and family therapy. This ambitious 24-year-old studied Russian while dancing with the Bolshoi Ballet in New York. North Dakota.
Ohio. As an influencer, Stephanie is passionate about connecting with her generation on YouTube and sharing her Puerto Rican culture. This 26-year-old has a degree in communications and currently works as a social media coordinator. Ohio.
Oklahoma. Mariah has a degree in film and media studies. At 24, she's now a production crew member for the Discovery Channel, creatively packaging content as a director's assistant on 2 reality shows. Oklahoma.
Oregon. 27-year-old Katerina is a doctorate student and future clinical Air Force psychologist. She works to educate others on developing coping mechanisms for mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. Oregon.
Pennsylvania. Victoria was named one of Pittsburgh's 50 finest for her charitable efforts and contributions. At 24, she is the president of her own women's fashion company with multiple storefronts and 20 employees. Pennsylvania.
Rhode Island. Johnny has a human services degree and is studying to become a licensed social worker. This 25-year-old former New England Patriots cheerleader helped fire up the crowd at Super Bowl 53. Rhode Island.
Okay. And now let's bring out the whole group back onto the stage, and a big round of applause for all the wonderful contestants. New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island. I'm rolling because now we have coming onto the stage South Carolina. Hannah Jane was professionally trained in the viola and has played for over 10 years. This 21-year-old half Filipina Peel Works back fan enjoys practicing yoga and running each morning. South Carolina.
South Dakota. Kaylani is a Chamber of Commerce and Young Professionals Network member. This former Miss Teen USA contestant is a lead bowler who once shaved her head to support her mother's cancer battle. South Dakota.
Tennessee. Hometown girl. After receiving several academic scholarships, Justice graduated magna cum laude with a degree in merchandise product development. This creative 26-year-old is both a trained vocalist and a violinist. Tennessee.
Texas. Before being crowned at her state pageant, Taylor fractured her spine in a car accident. We're glad you overcame that, Taylor. This 24-year-old domestic violence survivor is currently learning Spanish and is fluent in American Sign Language. Texas.
Utah. Rachel has trained internationally as an actor, writer, vocal artist, and improv comedian. Having survived homelessness and 2 suicide attempts, she is an advocate for normalizing mental health care. Utah.
LOUISIANA is an import specialist for one of the nation's largest aerospace technology companies. As a 24-year-old working in a male-dominated field, she hopes to set an example for the next generation of women. Vermont.
Virginia. Ever since she studied jiu-jitsu in Japan, Susie has viewed her body as a source of strength, confidence, and empowerment. This 27-year-old program manager recently started her own videography and media business. Virginia.
Washington. 25-year-old Imani is a dancer for the Walt Disney Company. 7 years ago, she was the first African-American teen contestant from her state. She plans to continue making a social impact with her hashtag, #BeYourReason. Washington.
West Virginia. Charlotte is a research assistant for the U.S. Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources. This 26-year-old proudly graduated in the top 10% of her undergraduate and graduate college classes. West Virginia.
Wisconsin. Gabriella is a proud first-generation American who is fluent in Spanish and has competitively figure skated for 14 years. This 28-year-old has won several buffalo wing eating contests, once consuming 76 in just 30 minutes. That's going to be me Monday night. Wisconsin.
And the lucky last, Wyoming. Lexi is a licensed esthetician and former college cheerleader. In her spare time, this 26-year-old enjoys yoga, writing poetry, and kayaking. Wyoming.
Let's bring out our final group of contestants. South Carolina. South Dakota. Tennessee. Texas. Utah. Vermont. Virginia. Washington. West Virginia. Wisconsin. And Wyoming.
Let's hear it one more time for 51 amazing contestants.
They have each done an incredible job, and those gowns were stunning. I know our judges are going to have a really tough time selecting the next Miss USA 2020.